All right, Shalom. This is Gamali Allah out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, now this is a quick lesson, and this is going to be entitled, Next Year Will Be Worse. Next year, 2023. And this is based off an article off blacklistednews.com. I'll go ahead and get straight into it. It says, the big tech companies are telling us exactly where the economy is headed in 2023. It says, if you didn't like economic conditions in 2022, then you're definitely not going to be pleased by what is coming in 23. This year, we have had to deal with rampant inflation, very sluggish economic activity, and the beginning of a horrifying housing crash. And that hasn't been fun. But it appears that the next year will be even worse. Most of the big tech companies have been reporting dismal numbers for the third quarter, and that is a very, very bad sign. Even when just about everyone else was scuffling along, we could always count on big tech companies to produce booming numbers. But now that has changed in a major way, and their stock prices are being absolutely hammered as a result. Just look at what is happening to Facebook. Overall revenue actually declined during the third quarter, and the other numbers that they just released deeply alarmed investors on Wall Street. All right. It says, while revenue fell 4% in the third quarter, Meta's costs and expenses rose 19% year over year to $22 billion. Operating income declined 46% from the previous year to $5.6 billion. All right. Meta's operating margin, or the profits left after accounting for costs to run the business, sank to 20% from 36% a year earlier. All right. It says Facebook's parent company Meta stock plummeted on Thursday following its announcement of a dismal third quarter. At market close Thursday, shares in the tech company had fallen nearly 25%, under $98 a piece, a level not seen since 2016. Let's see. So they're bringing up, Facebook and Meta. All right. Let's see. It says Mark Zuckerberg's fortune plunged by $11 billion after his Meta platforms reported a second straight quarter of disappointing earnings, bringing his total wealth loss to more than $100 billion in just 13 months. All right, now it jumps down to Amazon. It says, meanwhile, Amazon had just released numbers for the third quarter. Amazon on Thursday posted weaker than expected earnings and revenue for the third quarter and gave disappointing fourth quarter sales forecast. The stock plummeted as much as 16% in extended trading. All right. So as you see, these are your major companies which are falling. And you can only imagine, the smaller companies, because these are the big whales of companies. Meta, Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Apple have lost $2.5 trillion in the market value combined. All right. So this is alarming. All right. Why? Because, like I said, these are macroeconomics. These are very, very large companies. All right. And when you see these very large companies tank and lose profit, like I said, you can only imagine how much the smaller companies are losing. They're losing big time. All right. These smaller companies, they're going to be extinct. All right. They're going to be damn near extinct because, like I said, these companies, they have big expenses. They have large expenses. So with them losing, like, they have to basically be gaining in order to pay all their employees, or else they're going to have to cut back. They're going to cut back on physical locations. They're going to have to do layoffs with workers. But I'm saying all this to say that, America's on its way out. That's always the message. That's always the message, is that America is on its way out. and us being the prophets, all right, who the Lord, and we say it humbly, but the Lord set us up to be, to warn, to be a watchman, okay? So let's get into it. First off, let's start with Ecclesiastes 12, because this is all, like I said, this is all prophesied in the Bible. All right. Everything that's happening right now is prophesied. All right. The scriptures talk about how, victuals shall fail. That's in Sirach. It says, I'll go into it in a second. Anyway, this is Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And that grinders basically is the workers, okay? That's representative of the economy. The grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, all right? And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. So basically the economy is going to be low, okay? The work is going to be low, all right? And it says, he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, okay? So the doors shall be shut in the streets. Now, what does that mean? That means that businesses are going to fail, all right? Businesses are going to be boarded up. They're not going to thrive. They're no longer going to be, in commission. All right. So that was the point on that. But like I said, the scriptures go into that. Let me go into this. Let's get this. This is 2 Ezra 16:21. It says, behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. All right. And even then shall the evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay. So victual shall be so good cheap. And it says, so things are going to, that's what? Inflation. Things are going to be basically not going to have any value, but it says it's the opposite. Things are going to be, it says they're going to think themselves to be in good case while things are cheap. All right. But it says evils will grow upon the earth, famine, sword, and great confusion. All right. For many that dwell upon the earth shall perish for famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And that's ultimately what this is going to lead to, okay? With the stock market crash, with the economy going downhill, all right, it's eventually going to affect other markets, the food market. Amazon owns Whole Foods, okay? Amazon is responsible for many deliveries of goods and different things, all right? So much so to where it's going to surpass, the postal service. It may have already done it. It may have already done so, but it's basically outdoing UPS and the postal service and different things of that nature. All right. I jump down to verse 28. It says, for of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. Yeah, because eventually it's going to be like an apocalypse scenario. Like when you watch those movies, it's going to be very little people. You watch the movie The Road, all right? It's not going to be these cities aren't going to be very populated, all right, because it's going to be so many dead bodies in the streets, as the scriptures say. But the lead up to that is the economy tanking. All right, the lead up to that is economic failure. The housing market is done, as the article mentioned. The cars are very expensive, because they have a shortage of the chips that they use to make cars. What else? And the list goes on, all right? The list goes on. You know, there's a meat shortage. A lot of these farms are having to close up, due to Esau, all right? So that was that. But yeah, like I said, it's going to cause famine. And the Lord is bringing the Lord is bringing these things because of the wickedness. All right. It's going to be laid waste and empty, as the scripture has said. And why? Let's go into the why. Let's go into the why now. Why it's got to fall. Why America has to suffer economic turmoil. Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that had made all the earth drunken. So Babylon has been the top country for a long time, the top economic country, as far as even military, it gets all it's the breadbasket of the world, so to speak. All right, everything thrives off of America. That's why when you read in Revelation, it says the merchant shall wail because of her. Why are they going to wail? They're going to basically cry because, they make their merchandise off of America. It says that have made all that are drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. All right. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. All right. So there is no restoring America. All right. When you have major companies that are declining, that is a very big sign of economic failure and a decline in everything, because you have what's called a trickle effect. All right. And it trickles down to, it's going to trickle down to, like I said, your smaller microeconomics, your smaller companies. It's going to affect everything. So, but yeah, like I said, when you go into the merchants of the earth, okay, those merchants are going to be upset because they're going to be through. They're going to be totally through. All right, those merchants, they're going to be like, damn, we destroyed the cash cow. All right, so that was pretty much it. Like I said, I just really wanted to touch on that quick point, that quick article, and go into the economic collapse. Lord willing, you will edify. I'm going to end off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.